So that's it. So let's begin. So now for composting, the materials required are the greens, browns, and water. These are the three main ingredients that is required. Now water, we don't require physical water as such. The environment, the nature that provides us with the moisture in the atmosphere is enough. But in some dry places in desert regions like the say Gulf or cold countries like the Europe and America, water is required physically also. But in places like hot and humid places like Mumbai or in India, most of India where the weather is not so very dry in more than half the time of the year, we don't require water physically. Now what are greens? Greens are nothing but are waste generated in the kitchen. Once more, I'll just why we require. Now the greens. Greens is the kitchen waste, the peels of fruits and vegetables. Now in this, now different methods of composting actually. We have now the method that we are following today is the simplest of all. It's just a child's play. If you just go through this PPT and procedure, even a simple process which a child even can do it. So we have the greens, which is the kitchen waste. Now kitchen waste, it provides nitrogen. Apart from the kitchen waste, greens also has the green color leaves. Then we have the browns. Browns are nothing but the dried leaves, twigs, etc. The stems, the branches. Now we in a society or when we go out in the garden, we see the leaves falling down, especially in the fall or in the autumn season, or once when in India we have deciduous trees which shed their leaves once a year. So when the leaves are shedded, they gradually turn into browns. So these are the browns. Apart from the leaves, we also have the hay, then we have twigs, etc. Now the function of browns is to provide carbon. So nitrogen by the greens, breaking down of the green waste, carbon by that we get by the breaking down of brown waste, mixes with the air and water to decompose back into soil. Life, as we say, begins with soil. If there is no soil, no plants, no food, and none of us. So this gives us soil back. So to get started in our houses for composting, we need the greens, which we'll get from our kitchen. Browns, we'll get it from our gardens or from our society compound or nearby anywhere. Then we get the water. Our environment provides us. Air is also available freely to us, thank God. And then we need an aluminum foil. Now, what is that for? Now the greens, that is the kitchen waste that we have. Suppose a cucumber peels we have, or fruit peels that we have, we need to dry it for a day to speed up. Not exactly to speed up, but to what happens, they are generally very moist. So we just dry it a bit so that it doesn't attract any insects. So we have the aluminum foil in which we'll dry it out in the sun. Now this is generally kept in our balcony or open outside our window to dry it. So we can put it to dry in any container, but what happens if it is in the aluminum foil, it will reflect sunlight and it will dissuade birds. Birds will not be attracted. Otherwise, if you put your food waste outside to dry in your window or something, it will attract birds who thinks that is some kind of food and they come to eat it. And they can create some nuisance and dirty a place and overturn the tray or something. So to dissuade birds and other, basically birds only who will be attracted to eat the food waste, we put it in the aluminum foil. Then we need a jute cloth to cover our compost. It has to be moist, wet cloth. Now it can be a jute cloth, it can be a muslin cloth, it can be a brown paper, it can be newspaper, not necessarily jute cloth. Fork. Now this fork are used to mix up our compost. It can be fork, it can be sticks, it can be anything that is easily available in the house. Now gardening as such needs no investment. We can just use our creativity and use anything to give us the desired result. Red earth. Now red earth doesn't have to be necessarily red in color. It can be any soil that is locally available. If you're in the eastern part of India, you have the alluvial soil. If you're in the southern central part, you have the black soil. If you're in the Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh side, then you have the red soil. So it's any soil that is available locally, but soil not mixed with anything else. Then you have the coconut fiber, that is to keep the drainage. It can be coconut fiber, it can be sugarcane bagasse, anything that is easily available next to you. So this is an activity that we do daily in our kitchen. So I have boiled some tomatoes for the puree and the peels of tomatoes and the peels of cucumber. So this becomes my green waste. This waste that I have, it's down. But that is break them down. So I just chop it into tiny 1-inch piece, maybe little smaller, and collect this in my house. So this is all my green waste. It's all put in a basket covered with an aluminum foil so that it doesn't attract birds who would come and try to find some food in it, and they may overturn or dirty my balcony or something. So it's advisable to have an aluminum foil for drying my green waste. So these are the fruit peels also dried out in the sun. Now this I collected in a box. So I have this amazing box. I did not buy a special container as such, in which I take all my that has been generated in my kitchen for the day. All this I cut together it after drying it in a box. Now sometimes we get waste which is very big, like this pea shells and cauliflower stems. So we can also churn it in a mixer grinder and chop it into small tiny components. So that was all about the green waste. Now the brown waste. Brown waste can be sticks like this. It can be the composing, the leaves that has fallen off from the trees that starts decomposing and turning brown. Now that has been churned and broken into small particles. So these are my browns. Browns, we can generally get it from a society compound or from the roads or from the gardens. We can also tell the municipal gardens in and around our houses to provide us daily. We can give them a bag. I generally give a bag to them and they give me some browns. So this is where the BMC garden opposite my house, where I get my browns. Now, again, coming back to the material summary of the materials required, we need the greens. In the technical term for composting, which we use is the greens, that is nothing but the kitchen waste, and its function is to provide nitrogen. The browns, that is the dried leaves and twigs, that provides carbon. Water we get from atmosphere, but in hot region, in the, like suppose in places where there's, which is very dry, the Gujarat, Rajasthan, states like that, or abroad in say Dubai or Oman, elsewhere where it is very hot, no generally no humidity, then we, and especially in the cold countries also, we need to provide water manually. Then air, of course. Now the air is required. Now the compost that we'll make will be in a container which will be having holes in it. Now the function of this hole is for air circulation. Now composting will be done by microbes that are the microscopic organs that are present in the greens and the browns, which helps in decomposing of material. Now the air will keep this aerobic. The aerobic in the sense that all these microbes, all living creatures requires breathing for life. So this microscopic and microscopic or microorganisms also breathe, and they breathe both in air and without air also. So when the respiration is happening in the presence of oxygen of the air, it is aerobic respiration. So that is what we require for our home composting, which is basically nothing but warm corn, hot corn, also known as hot composting. So it has to be aerobic. What happens if an anaerobic respiration happens? Now, these microorganisms can breathe in the absence of air also. So without oxygen also they can breathe. So what happens in that case? They produce gases like methane and hydrogen sulfide, etc., which gives a foul smell, which is not welcome in our houses. In our houses, we want to keep the environment clean for the hygiene reason. We don't want any microorganism to breed and dirty our place around. Hence, we go for aerobic respiration and process of making composting. And therefore, we require air and we require to make holes in our bin in which we are making the compost. Apart from that, I'll just aluminum foil. I told you why, to dry the greens and keep away the birds. Jute cloth, muslin cloth, brown paper, newspaper, anything for covering our compost. We need a garden fork or a stick or a branch or anything that you have to churn or mix our greens waste like a salad. Just mix it, red or any soil, to keep away fruit flies and other insects. Now, when the greens are there, they are drying, it attracts a lot of fruit flies. And we don't generally prefer that happening near our house, and it's really very irritating. Or if the amount of moisture is more, especially in the monsoons, heavy monsoons of India for 3 months, mosquito may also breed. So we don't want that to happen. So we cover our layers of greens and browns with the soil. So that will deter any kind of fruit flies or excuse me, mosquitoes from breeding. Then we need coconut fiber to facilitate aeration of the microbes, so that there is aerobic respiration and there is no foul smell coming from our compost. This can be coconut fiber, it can be bagasse, it can be dry hay that we get in the mango boxes, though not in the season. Now we'll have to wait for mango boxes next year. But till that time, this coconut fiber also easily available with the vendors in the market. Now, do we need to, as I told you, we don't need to buy anything for gardening. We can just begin in our house. We can see these are the different bins in which we can take a basket like this with so many holes. So that can provide aeration. We can just cover it lightly with a cloth or something and have that to make our compost. Now, if you have a garden or a if you are having your own houses and there's a backyard or a front yard, it can be directly planted on the heaps or beds. We can directly do it in the ground, or horizontal drums with hole, or we have these drums and we can make holes and put it in the garden if we are having a garden of our own. Or simply in small houses, if you don't have any of such things, we of course can have this pots or the gamlas in which we grow plants. Now, this pots, gamlas, which we use for growing plants, have holes at the bottom. So this holes, and is made up of earth. That is an earthen pot. So it provides aeration also. So aerobic respiration will be happening with the microbes. So what we can do, we can start composting in pots like this. We can fill up one pot is full, then we can go into the another pot. On the top of the pots, if you see, notice this is a dish kept to dry out the greens and browns, or the greens to convert into browns also. They are flower petals, etc. The waste that we generate in the house. Now, this is the last process. After the compost is made, then we need to sieve it. Now, as I explained the procedure, you will be able to see. Now we come to our main part of how to make compost. So as you would have got it by the introduction, that first we need to dry the kitchen waste or green waste or the kitchen waste in sunlight for 1 day, preferably in aluminum foil container or in a container that is lined with an aluminum foil of our house, so that not to attract the birds and dirty our place. Then we line the compost with brown waste, dry twigs or fibrous material like coconut coir, sugar bagasse, etc. We mix the dry green waste with equal volumes of crushed dried leaves. Now the green waste, I told you how I'm cutting it and chopping it down into small components. Similarly, I also crush my dried green. Now to crush the dried green leaves is very simple. We just need to, since it is dry, it will be very crumbly. Of course, not in the monsoon. So in the monsoon, when it is a little wet, you can dry it out in the sun, and then we can just crush it in the help of our hands. Then we need to mix them like a salad.
Huh?
Then we add this mixture to the bin above the layer of coconut coir. So now the container that we have, first we'll line that container with a layer of coconut coir, or sugarcane bagasse. If there's some sugarcane juice wala next door, you can source it from there. Sieve it, the very fine component you get after sieving the sugarcane bagasse, that you can line the container with. So how do we start? First, we put coconut coir at the end, bottom of the container. On top of it, we put a ½ inch layer of red earth or garden soil. Then we layer it with 1/4 inch of dried leaves. And on top of dried leaves, we put our green waste. Now this green waste and brown waste are in the ratio of 1:1. Now this is not any strict ratio. Like suppose in cooking, if we are baking a cake, it has to be 10 grams or 20 grams. We cannot change the measurement. But in this measurement, we'll have to be a bit prudent, and we have to change according to our circumstances and environment. Generally, broadly speaking, the ratio of greens is to waste is greens to browns is 1:1. But now the greens, what happened? We are generally drying it. If we are not drying it, and in one day also not enough is dry, the greens will generate moisture. Water will be secreted as the greens dry up. Now this water, which is secreted by the green waste, will be absorbed by the brown waste. So the browns, function of the browns is to absorb the water that is given off by the greens. Hence the composition is ratio is 1:1. But sometimes we find, and every day we have to churn and mix it, and we'll find that sometimes it's wet. So now this compost has to be wet, moist, but water should not drip out of it. So once we are churning it, we'll come to know there's amount of water or moisture is more in it. So what happened in that case, you will increase the amount of browns in it. So browns function is to absorb the moisture. But on the reversal, sometimes you find this very dry. The materials are not breaking down. So what to do in that case? Add more of greens. We'll stick to the ratio of 1:1, but sometimes if we feel that the moisture is more or the moisture is less, we need to change the ratio. After layering it, we'll have to cover it with a damp cloth and keep it in a cool shaded place. Now, sunlight is the enemy of microbes. Microscopic animals do not like sunlight. They get killed by it. They cannot survive in sunlight. So at no point of time are we exposing our compost to sunlight. It has to be always in a cool shaded place. But when we are making it in a bin, in a bucket, in a basket, or in a, say, carton box or anything, it's always covered from all sides. So no amount of sunlight goes in it. Now, so we have started. So after making layers, so what we needed to do, we continue to make layers of greens and browns till our bin is full. If we are using the pot that I showed in the previous slides, till the pot is full, we'll have 1 layer of greens, 1 layer of brown, with a little bit of soil on it, very little to keep away the fruit flies and everything if you find it is attracting it. Now, and cover it daily. Daily we put our waste in it and daily cover the boxes or the container in which we are making our compost. Now, after it is full covered with damp cloth, checking and churning every 2 days. We also check the moisture level. Now, how much moisture, water should be there inside? It should be moist like a wrung out sponge. If we are going to squeeze it, we just take it in our hand and going to squeeze it, the water should not drip. If the water is dripping, do not put greens for that day, put browns. But on the reversal, if it is dry, sprinkle little water on it to make it moist, because without moisture, decomposition will not happen. Air and water are the important components, ingredients for making of compost. We need to mix up well to evenly moisten it, put it back in the bin, cover with moist cloth, put a lid if you have one. If you don't have a lid, we are covering it with a cloth, we are covering it with newspaper, we are covering it with brown paper, whatever we have. Now, if it's too hot, it shouldn't. Now when the compost will start, now after all this process is made, and by the time your container is full or the pot is full of the greens and browns and the soil, and you are churning it, you'll find that the temperature of it has increased. Now the temperature may go up to 45 to 50 degrees centigrade. That should happen. If the temperature is not increasing inside your composting bin, now the first bin in which we start our layers of greens and browns is known as the cooking bin. So in the cooking bin, if the temperature of the greens and browns and waste has not increased, then the composting has not started. That's an indication. The temperature has to be, it will automatically rise up. So it will become very hot, up to 50 degrees centigrade. Now, if it is too wet, one sec. So see over here, we have a fresh cooking compost bin in which we are making layers. Now, once this is full, every 2 days we are churning it up and down. Once it is full, completely full till the top, we leave it and we start with our next bin. So when we start with the next bin, that will be our cooking composting bin, and this bin will be the resting bin. Now the temperature that I was talking about, that temperature will rise in this resting bin. When in the resting bin stage, now in the resting bin will not disturb it. Apart from 1 week, every 1 week we'll just check. Now generally the composting method depends. Now in the Konkan region that Mumbai or Maharashtra is situated, what happens is a blessed place where, because of the weather condition, is ideal for composting, the breaking down of materials. So generally composting is very fast in this region, taking 1.5 to 2 months. But say in US, America, it will take 4 to 5 months. In UAE, it will take 3 to 4 months, because the weather is very dry, it's not enough moisture is there, humid is not there, everything has to be artificially created. Naturally, it is not available. But we are blessed in India to have natural environment for composting. So in India, generally 1.5 to 2 months, we can have our compost ready even in our houses. So the fresh cooking compost bin is the bin in which we are making the layers. One that is full, it gets converted into the resting bin. Then after some days, you will find every week you will be churning this resting bin and checking the moisture level. If you find it has become dry, you will sprinkle some water, cover it again with a cloth, damp cloth if the environment, if the weather conditions in your region is dry. If it is monsoon season and raining continuously for months no end, then you will not put a moist cloth on top. You'll just put a cloth and cover so that no sunlight goes in. As it is in the monsoon season, we hardly get sunlight, but you will just cover it with a dry cloth, because already there is a lot of moisture and humidity in the atmosphere. Now, after some days in the resting bin, you will find that the bin which was full till the brim, the level will go down, and the color of the compost of the waste will start turning into brown and black. I'll just read through my slide. Now, after a month of cooking and resting, the color of the compost starts turning black. Now, at this stage, we have to check for moisture every week. Temperature, now from resting bin to maturing bin, the temperature of the compost will start to fall. Now, at this stage, keep the bin aside for a further period of 20 to 30 days and allow the compost to mature. That is the maturing stage. So the third bin that you see, the maturing bin on your slide on the screen, that's the maturing bin. So this is the time when we will not disturb. Now, when this will be ready, we'll be churning it, of course, for every week. Now, in this bin, when we'll not be able to distinguish our banana peels from the cucumber peels or the apple peels or the neem leaves, whatever we have put, we cannot distinguish between any of them. That means your compost is ready. What we need to do is to sieve it and take out the fresh compost. Now, when the compost is soft and crumbly, the original shape cannot be distinguished. As I was saying, you will not be able to make out whether it was banana peel inside or an apple peel or the fresh fruits or vegetable peels that went into it. Now, in this, what I'm explaining is a very basic step of composting where we just use our kitchen waste. I'll just show you a video where I made the compost. Now in that you will have threads and many other things inside, but I will not advise you all to try it because it will complicate. If you all are beginners, just do it with kitchen waste, green waste and brown waste. Later, gradually we can use many other things that are generated as waste in our house, like bits of paper, but many things take a longer time to decompose. Decomposition time for each material is different. Hence, in a small setup of our houses, it's not advisable. But yes, if you have a big setup, you can of course do it. Now, composting and maturing bin, typically after 1 month of resting bin, can be used to mulch the potted plants or soil with beds. So those who have attended my previous 2 workshops or the next week workshop will be knowing that in the growing medium, I explained to mix coco peat, soil, and compost, biocompost. Now, biocompost that we generally source out from the market also have manure in it. It can have cow manure, it can have sheep manure, etc. mixed with the in the method of composting, when they commercially make compost, along with the greens and waste, they also use manure. They generally cow manure or sheep manure. Now, manure that is to be used are only of the farm animals who are vegetarians. Animals that are non-vegetarians, those manures are not to be used for any soiling purpose. Similarly, in the compost that we make in the house, only vegetarian things will go in. You can use your tea leaves if anyone's drinking tea leaves. You can use your coffee grounds, etc. also. Now, once all the material is soft in the matured bins, dark and broken down and loses its original shape because of semi-decomposed, can be phytotoxic to plant. That is light. So because of it should not be exposed to light. Now, when the compost is fully matured and ready, we need to sieve it. And one of the slides you saw how I sieved it. Now, when we sieve it, the decomposed pieces, now some seeds, suppose we have put a mango seed inside it, it takes a longer time to decompose, so that will not decompose, so that will be left behind. And apart from that, many big particles will be left behind in the sieve. So all this left behind particles in the sieve will be used as a starter. As in the curd, to make curd in the house, we use a starter. So that can be used as a starter for our next bin. That will speed up things. So first, when our first set of compost is ready, and the second set, when we sieve it, all the materials that is left behind after sieving in the sieve can be used as a starter for our next lot. So in the next lot and the next lot of our composting, we layer the container with the coconut fiber, and above the coconut fiber, we can put this leftover manure, which has not yet decomposed. It is still not converted into very fine soil material, but is a little big and cannot be sieved. So that can be put in layers. So we can put layer of greens, browns, and manure along with the red soil or the black soil or the locally available soil. Now, this compost that we use in the house, when we use it for growing plants, we use it in the ratio of 1:1 is absolutely fine. As I was telling that when you buy biocompost from the market or online from Amazon or any other site, what happened? They have also, because they are made in a commercial big places, so they have also used manure to speed up things and to fertilize it all the more. So when we buy compost from outside market, the ratio to be used is 1 part of compost to 3 parts of soil. But the homemade compost can be used as 1:1. Those who would have attended my Tulsi Maharani plants care, and I say that every week we need to put some manure on it. So instead of manure, cow dung, we can also use this homemade compost every week. We take a fistful and just put it on to the top of the pot. Now this is also very nutrition. The unsieved part, if any, can be added back to the fresh cooking bin as a starting culture. This happens to quicken the composting in the fresh cooking bin. Now, as I was saying, what is the aim of composting? Of course, is to not to send our kitchen waste to the landfills where it causes harmful emission of gases like methane and etc., which not only pollute but also make our environment very toxic. Now, as a matter of fact, I don't have the statistics right now. I'll be sharing it next week. I was doing some research. Now we come to know that the cabbage that was grown in the 1970s had more amount of nutrients than the cabbage that is cultivated or harvested nowadays in the 90s or 2000s. So the amount of nutrition in the vegetables have been decreasing. Now this is all because of the toxicity in the soil that is increased. So we can utilize our own waste, our waste in a very useful manner and convert it into black gold. Now we see a small video.
There is no audio in this?
No audio.
I think audio is not connected.
I'm checking audio. I'm checking. Is it okay?
No, Mataji, since it is your video, you can explain actually.
Happening?
Since it is your
I'll
video, you
just
can
pause it.
explain.
Yes.
We can't hear your audio in this video.
Video audio is not audible. Okay, I'll try once more. I'll speak. I'll speak along with it. Okay, so now this is a live demo, and instead of doing it lightly, I'll make it. So this is Amazon parcel box. So generally we receive the parcel. I'm going to use this for compost. Now in this, I need to for erase, need to the, what am I doing? And with knife, I am making the hole. So on each side, I'm making holes. Now this hole is for aeration, air to go in and circulate for aerobic respiration of microbes. I don't want the light to go in. I just want the air to circulate inside the box. Now you see I'm using the all materials that are available easily in the house. We are just recycling of the 3 R's: reduce, recycle, reuse. That's what I'm using in my house to carry on the sustainability, to be a part of the sustainability. Now see, I have holes on all the size of box. There, you see this box is there, empty box. Now in this, the greens will be producing water. Now I line it up with the hay. Now the hay that we get in the mango boxes, the mango season. So I save it. So I line it up with the hay. Now this can be done with sugarcane bagasse, can be done with coconut fiber, what is easily available at your farm. whatever water is secreted by the green waste will be very nicely absorbed by the layering of a coconut fiber. The purpose of this is to absorb the excess water that will be generated. Now, whatever suppose is more than what is absorbed. So, now what I do also is to make a cut. Back of I cut it along the side. If there's any excess which is not as absorbed, you will see down. If the water you find that water is coming out of this box, then what you need to do is to add more browns to it. So the is done. Now this pista shells I'm putting for drainage, for drainage and for filtration. Now this pista shell is not actually going to decompose very soon. It will be carried in my next round of composting also. Now this is the brown that I have collected, browns and the greens. Now the green waste that I showed you, the cucumbers, peas and the banana, pomegranate, orange. Then I have peanuts. Then I have this curry leaves. So all these leaves. Now these greens have been collected by me in a matter of say two or 3 days. This has all been collected and dried out in the sun. Now this I layer the box with this. One sec. Now this is the green waste that has been saved by me in last 2 days. Now I've collected it and dried it out a bit. Now why drying out? Because the moist one will attract the fruit flies and all, which I generally don't like, because in a small houses we don't, for hygiene reason also, we don't want any insects to come, and hence I put it in a dry and then we'll cover it with soil. Repeat with the video. Now in this you see is a white fungus. Now in this peanut shell, the peanut shell, I'll just show you. In that, a little bit of white fungus because of the most moist weather under any season. Now the white fungus is nothing but mold. Okay, so now we are mixing, and molds and the fungus is also microorganism which is going to speed up the composting. You see, we have a layer of brown and we have, now we put browns. Now this browns have been collected by me from the garden. Now you see the sticker is not just cut it and put it in. Now I insert the one corner. Now the stick you see I inserted on one side or one corner. Now what happened in the corner? So when I have to mix it like a salad, I was saying that this beans and browns have to be mixed. So that has to be used for mixing. Now see brown I have, so I'm using the brown. So I'm just cutting it down, breaking it down, small particles. So we just chop it down all the browns. with the kitchen knife, okay, or any other container. These are the dried coconut leaves, which will act as a huge nutrient, give nutrients to my compost. Now the greens and browns have to be in the ratio of 1:1. But as per, you'll have to be prudent enough to know if the waste is generating cut down into 1 inch pieces. This all is cut down into 1 inch pieces of 1 inch. So we'll put it. So you have pomegranate seeds. We just put it what's left behind. Tear off the leaves. So we have the I have the twigs. I take this down. This is very strong and not breaking. I put it down in the corner, in another corner. Now all these twigs that I'm putting in the corner will be used to mix up my compost. This is just for a demo purpose. I'm not breaking it into very tiny pieces. Here the piece that you break down your waste into, the sooner your compost will be made. Now very small, tiny 1 inch pieces we can convert into. Now this is the waste. Now this is the waste that has been dried out. This is today's waste that has been dried out in the sun, as I was saying, in the aluminum foil, right? So in the aluminum foil, it has been dried out.
Then I use this aluminum foil.
Now your audio is audible.
Aluminum foil just to Hello, any issues? Any issues? Shall I continue?
Yeah, your audio, the video audio
Voice
is
is
breaking
breaking. Shall
now.
I continue? I'm not able to hear. Voice is breaking. Excuse me. I'm not able to hear what's. Voice is breaking. Excuse me. Okay, audio is working, so I don't need to speak, right? Okay, fine. I just want to check the audio is audible.
No, not now.
Okay, then I speak along. So this I have the waste that has been dried out in the sun in the aluminum foil. Then I have the flowers that have been offered to the lordships, and I'll take this flower. The flower will also provide phosphorus also apart from the nitrogen. The greens provide generally the nitrogen. The flowers generally provide the carbon dioxide and the phosphorus. So the compost will be very nutrition and NPK, everything will be available in our compost that we make. Now the flower will also give us the fragrance. Now this again we cover it with brown. Now these are the wood splinters. Now wood takes a long time to decompose. So the layering that we did initial with the hay, that can also be done with the wood. So I have some wood apart from that. Now browns are there, greens are there, browns are there, greens are there. Again, I'm putting brown. Now in between, I will also put some soil. Soil will also be put in between. Again, I'm telling off whatever greens and whatever browns, we just need to put all in the ratio of 1:1. Now the civic is not breaking. I just put it in the center. So it will help me in mixing my compost. Daily when I'm mixing it along, it will help me mix it up. So I hope it is all clear. I hope it is all clear to you. So I will make this layers of greens and browns, and also a layer of soil will be put along with it in between. Now this I have shown in one all at once. Now this what we will actually be doing will be daily. The daily collection of our whatever kitchen waste we have today will dry out in the sun, and tomorrow we'll put it in our composting bin. Then this cycle will go on till the composting bin or the bin in which we are making the compost is filled up. Now in this I have used this box. So till it reaches the top, I will use it, and every day when I put the fresh greens and browns, I will be churning it. Now you see I have used this 4 sticks in the 4 corners of the box. Now these are very healthy, strong ones which I'm not able to break, and hence I'll use it for mixing my compost. It will be used as a mix instead of a fork or having some fancy equipment for my gardening purpose from the gardening shop. I'll use this natural material only. After say some months, it will start decomposing and will become weak. So I'll break it down and put it into compost, and later I will use it again. So now I close the box. Okay, now I'm closing the box. You know that in my instruction I told a cloth is put. Now this box is enough, and I see no sunlight entering. When I have to open it, I put the waste inside, and I close it. So every day I'll open the box, I'll put my waste inside, the greens and the browns, and cover it with a little layer of soil, and I will churn it with the sticks that I have put inside it till the time it reaches the top. And after it reaches the top, now this cooking bin will become my resting bin. Now after some days, I'll find the temperature inside it rising. Every week I will churn it, check out the moisture level. If it is dry, I'll add some sprinkle some water into it. If it is dry, I'll sprinkle water. If there's the moisture or the water, if I hold it in my hand and I see water dripping out of it, then what I do is to add some dry brown leaves to it, right? So this is how the composting process to you. Now what I'm explaining in this video is to just check the moisture level. So when I take this compost and take it in my hands, I take it in my hands and squeeze the compost. When I squeeze the compost, or I hold it and squeeze the compost, and water droplets fall, that shows that the amount of moisture is more. So if the amount of moisture is more, I need to add more browns. But if the amount it is dry, if I put it and no soil, nothing sticks to my hand and I feel it is dry, then I sprinkle little water. Now in the instruction, I had been telling to cover it with the cloth, but this box has a lid. So there is no use to cover it with a cloth, and In dry places, moist cloth, especially in UAE region, Gulf region, you have to cover it with a moist cloth and give moisture to it. But in India, and especially in the monsoon season, that is not required. In the dry winter season, you require more of moisture. Now, this was the small demo. This was a small demo of how to make a compost. Okay, so now any questions I have, I will just, and apart from that, I will also show you all how to the feel how the matured bin, when you empty the matured bin, how that looks. I'll just show that video to you also before taking up the question and answer session. Push the audio somewhere. Are you Is it audible? Is this audible?
No.
No?
Audible.
One sec, I'll try again.
So this is my specialty. This is my specialty. This is my specialty. In the advanced stage, once you are in the advanced stage.
Is it audible now?
Yes, audible.
Not audible. Okay.
So this is my compost which I have made in a bucket. So this is my compost which I have made in a bucket.
Okay, I'll speak again. I'll speak again.
Ma'am, we can hear you in this video also, but I think keep your thing on mute so that we can hear it, because it is sounding double.
Okay, echo is coming.
Yeah, echo is coming.
Fine.
So this is my compost which I have made in a bucket. So this is my compost which I have made in a bucket. So this is my compost which I have made in a bucket. So this is my compost which I have made in a bucket.
Stop. Now this is the compost which I have made in a bucket. This bucket actually doesn't have any outlets or holes. Now since I am in seasoned and experienced, I can experiment. You are not to increase the bucket like this with no holes. Now see, I have got in pipe insert for circulation of air. Now this is something we get in the rolls we get in the house. This was a plastic roll that was used to cover newspaper, books and plastic cover. Now this compost, you see that in the bucket I have covered it with brown. Now I open it and you see there's another there. Now this pipe. Now the top portion is still not decomposed. There's a coconut husk, hay, some feathers. Now I put lot many things into the compost. So see, this is one dia. Now this dia has not decomposed. This means that it's not made up of soil or earthenware. It is plaster. It will not decompose. I'll throw this. So I'll throw this on. Now I'm going to empty this compost and show how this is exactly 1.5 months. This is the bucket was initially full. Now the level has gone down. The temperature has gone down of this compost. So now it is empty. Now I take the rod and you see there's a soil in the rod. See, this is the soil that has come out. Take out the paper that I used as a cover, and that only I'm going to empty the content. So I have this. I just spread this paper out there, and then on that I don't want the sunlight to be seen to my compost, so I put it in the shade. I layer out the in the pipe there was some soil. You see how the compost has turned into pure soil. Now this has a bit red in color, but generally the compost will not be red in color. It will be black or brown. Now the reason for this red is the amount of soil that I'm layering has been more. Therefore, it is a little brown in color. But if the amount of soil that you have put along with the greens and the brown is less, that is the brown or black. Now I empty the bucket. And you see how many things have decomposed, some have and some has not. Some thread is now as a beginner, you will not put anything apart from the kitchen waste green and the brown leaves and twigs, because all these things will not decompose and it will be a big difficult. Now when I touch it's moist, smell it is a nice earthy smell. The smell that comes from the first rain, beautiful, lovely smell will come from the compost. It will not be no foul smell. Some things have not decomposed on the paper and everything that's there. You see, there is no creatures as no crawling creatures as such, or no insects or mice or termites. Nothing is there in this soil. No mice or anything. This is a very healthy soil. Now I scrap off all the soil from the bucket. Now you see consistency of soil. See, I'm squeezing this soil, it is moist. It's becoming a ball. So this is the amount of moisture that is there to be inside it. Neither is the water squeezing out, but it's moist enough for me to make a ball out of it. Now what I need to do, this compost is to steep it properly. When I steep it, I'll get the fine compost that I'll use for my gardening. And whatever will be left behind in my seed, just keep all the leaves and everything that you see will be left behind. So that will go as a starter for in my next level of in my next level. So you see the beautiful soil out there. that will be used for growing my crop, for growing my microgreens, for my balcony gardening. That's the soil. How was the texture? How the color of the compost that you make? It's a little brown, a little more to the black side. Because of the more amount of soil, it's red and looks more like soil. Now, soil has not been requiring much mixing compost, not been mixing much of soil. So you can see the quality of soil, how good it has come out. So this is the goal. Now this will give me very healthy plant. So we see that in this material world, as we say, we are made up of 5 elements, and all these 5 elements, earth, the soil, fire, the heat that was generated because of the respiration process, and we found that the temperature of the compost going up to 50 degrees centigrade. So that was it. So earth, fire, water was there, air was there, so everything mixed together and made it soil. So as there's a famous saying, sab kuch mitti mein mil gaya. So what was this mitti in the initial state? This mitti was nothing but the fruits and vegetables that we ate, the leftovers of it. And see how in a matter of 1.5 months everything has been converted back into soil, and this is the black gold which will help me grow my next set of food. It will give me food. Fine. So this was all about composting. So now we can have a question answer session. Whatever doubts we have, we can discuss the questions, or wherever the audio has not been proper, or some understanding which has been not understood, some points, we can just discuss it.
Madam, how many days we have to wait once the bin is full? Hello?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That how many days we have to wait once the bin is full to get the
One
compost?
is full, 1 month.
1 month. Okay.
It is there. It's there in one of the slides. It is there, and I'll send you the slide across. This whole PPT will be sent across to you, and it's mentioned over there. The cooking bin is there, the resting bin is there, and the maturing bin is there. So generally the time taken will be 1 month, but after every week you will be churning it. So when you churn it, you will see the soil will be formed. So when I emptied the bucket, you see in the bottom of the bucket also there were some leaves. So when we are churning it, the top and bottom, it goes on mixing. So the last layer takes a longer time. When the bin becomes full, the top layer will not be decomposing fast. So we are churning it. So that will be left over. So whatever is left over, we'll sieve it out, and whatever is left over will be used as a starter for our next cooking bin.
Okay. Thank you.
Generally, if it is a hot and humid weather, 1 month, it will, after it is full, 1 month and another 10-15 days for it to crumple down to powdery sort of thing. So that will be ready.
Okay.
In monsoon season, doesn't it accelerates the decomposition?
It accelerates. But the heat has to be there. So you have to properly close it. So apart from the moisture, the heat should be there. So hot and humid weather will make it will accelerate the process. Winter, it will take a little longer. And dry places also, it will be longer. In hot summer also, so in hot summer you have to sprinkle it with water. In monsoon you don't need to sprinkle any water, because the atmosphere, the holes that we make, the aeration will happen, and because of the aeration, the air itself will be having moisture, so it will be taking moisture from the air. Apart from the greens that we have layered it out, that will also secrete water. Any other questions?
It is regarding the bin. You
Yes.
mentioned, when you showed the video, you made it holes in different parts of the that box. If you have a container or something, because we have seen containers in Amazon and other places also, they have a holes on the top.
Yes.
They don't have holes at the sides. So that type of container is advisable or not?
See, as I told you, there is no any strict do's and don'ts in this, right? You can use any container, the idea is to have circulation of air inside your bin. You're getting me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So idea is to just have a circulation of air inside. The holes can be at the top, the holes can be at the bottom, holes can be in the side. Now I also showed you that the pots, right? The pots
Correct.
that we use to grow. So that has holes in the bottom. But it is made up of earthenware. So some transportation of air will be happening through the pores of the pots also, if it is made up of mud or material, natural material. If plastic, of course, no. So if it is plastic, it's advisable to make more holes to the bottom. So the pots generally will have holes at the bottom. And in the top, we are covering it with the cloth. So the cloth will also allow some circulation of air. It's not that it's going to seal it completely, right? So containers, if you buy from the market, they will have accordingly. Many times containers have the container will be there, and at the bottom there'll be a plate full of holes, or it will be. So what happened? Whatever liquid that is generated by the greens, whatever excess moisture will be there, that will seep down. And then you also have a tap from where you can collect this liquid, or outlet will be there in the commercially available bins. But if you find the amount of water that is secreted by the greens is more, what you can do is to just add more of browns to your compost. Any other query? Hope I'm clear with that.
Yes. Actually, one more question. This is regarding vermicompost also. There are two or three types of compost. So can
Yes,
you?
the composting, we have this, what I showed you is the hot composting method with the aeration. Now the microbes, as I was telling in the midst of my presentation, that they respire or breathe both in the presence of oxygen and in the absence of oxygen. When the breathing happens in the presence of oxygen is the aerobic respiration, and then we have the anaerobic respiration. Now different processes are used for composting. And the one that you vermicompost, that is a third type of compost where you use worms, generally earthworms. They are used to speed up the method of composting, and because they live deep inside the soil, and to breathe they come up to the soil layer, top layer. So they go in and they come out, and then they just mix. We don't need to mix, they generally mix. So in the commercially when compost is made, earthworms are used. So when the worms are used, it is known as vermicompost. Now vermicompost, when you buy it in the market, they will be having, it is seed. So it will not have worms as such, but it will have eggs of earthworms. Generally earthworms is the worms that are used for vermicompost. Now when these eggs are there, what happens when we plant our plants in this vermicompost, we use vermicompost for as a medium for growing our plants. What happens, this egg sometimes starts these eggs, from these eggs earthworms are born, and sometimes the number of earthworms becomes too big for the pot. The size of pot is small, and then they also need food, so they take their food apart. Of course they are friends of the plants and the soil and the farmers, they're friends to the farmers. Now in the open environment, in the ground or in the farm or in the garden, the soil is tremendous, but in our pots the amount of soil is fixed. We don't have so much amount of soil. So what happened, the worms that they get born because of the vermicompost take away the fertility of the soil, because if they start multiplying beyond our control, and then we need to control that. So I don't prefer vermicomposting. Now so composting made with the help of worms is known as vermicomposting. The process, the very basic first process that I explained you today, a very simple process, is the hot composting method, where you're just using kitchen waste and other things. Because we can see in my video you saw, there were bits of paper, there were feathers, there were threads also. But then they don't decompose fast. It takes time. The amount of time for decomposing of different material is different. Hence, we don't use all such thing. If we just stick to the basics of greens and browns, it is much easier, much faster, and much uniform. Now, in the midst of 1 month, suppose your bin gets full in 15 days, or if your bin gets full in the matter of 1 month. Now, let's just think in the time frame of 1 month, or say 15 days, how many different kinds of fruits and vegetables we would have consumed, right? We would have banana, we would have had mangoes, we would have had apples, we would have had pears, we would have had plums, we would have bhindi, tori, parwal, cucumber, beetroot, tomatoes, potatoes, everything, right? So the variety. And when we get fruits and vegetables for our own composition, it is of best quality, right? So the compost that will be made using this best quality of fruit and vegetables that we have consumed will be one of the best quality. So coming back to the types of composting, we have the aerobic composting, we have the anaerobic composting, we have the aerobic, that is the hot composting, where the temperature initially rise, and then when it has matured, it then falls down. Then we have the anaerobic, where it is used. Now when anaerobic process is used, what happened? All this waste is just put in one container with no holes, and it is not churned. It is put in a closed container, and after a year or so, if you open that, along with the very dirty, foul smell of methane and hydrogen sulfide, rotting egg smell, you will get your compost. That is the soil. Now, another very famous method is the bokashi method. Bokashi is Japanese term for fermenting. Now, and what happens in the fermenting? Now, we also know when we make idli, dosa, pickles, wine, all these things are made by fermenting, and it tastes wonderful. So composting them made by fermenting process also is very healthy, and it really also have a very nice smell, and is also very healthy. So in that, what happened, to initiate as a starter process, we use anaerobic method. So anaerobic and aerobic is mixed. In the bokashi or the fermenting method, we use curd, not exactly curd. We make a very dilute solution of curd or things that will make it ferment. And little anaerobic respiration is required to begin with. And then that is added to our composting bin along with the layers of greens and browns. So that's a little different method, bokashi, it is known as a bokashi method. So there are many different kinds of method that can be used. So once you are very familiar with this basic, once or twice when you have tried out with the basic hot composting method that we discussed today, later on you can try the fermenting bokashi method or anaerobic plus complete anaerobic method of composting is not required. It will take more than a year also, and very foul smell comes, which is not invited in our houses. And vermiculture we cannot do in our house because of the amount of worms. If you have a big garden set up in your house, in the garden, of course, you can use the vermiculture method of composting.
Thank you, Mataji, on that explanation. But one more thing, when we cover the browns and the greens in this, in few times when you cover it with my experiment in this case happened to have few white ants coming in this. How to cope up with that? Yeah.
Okay, in that case, what you can do, you can, if it is a little dry, don't add any, you add a little solution of vinegar and water, 1/4 vinegar, 3/4 water.
Okay.
Okay, with that solution, you sprinkle that solution.
Lemon juice
but
will be
make
okay?
sure it is not too moist. Then the amount of browns will be more in that case.
Okay, lemon juice will be okay, little bit instead of vinegar.
Yes, you can make a solution, weak solution. Yeah, lemon juice and water. Yes. Any else? Anyone else? Any other question?
Madam, microbes means what? Whether we have to add microbes, whatever available in the market. While
No, we don't add microbes. Microbes are present in the greens and the browns. Anything that is natural will decompose into soil, back into soil. And the microbes are always present inside.
Okay.
That is naturally there. God has made it naturally. Any material will start decomposing because of the microbes that comes naturally into it. When we get a fruit or vegetable, it starts rotting. Why it starts rotting? Because of the microbes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any explanation that anything that requires further explanations or anything? So shall we end it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Oh, he got us
Hare
chas.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Disha Mataji.
Thank you, Daddy.
Hare Krishna.
Okay,